Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. This week we have Lia Steinson, who will lead us in meditation, and then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. And after that, we'll open it up for sharing, and we'll end at approximately 10:45. Over to you, Lia.
Thank you, Dan. Lovely to be back again. This is one of my favorite things that I do every now and again, is come and lead this meditation. It's lovely to be with you. First, I'm going to read the prayer from Review 5 because it is so beautiful. And I invite you just to close your eyes as you listen. It always feels to me that you can hear better right deep in your heart if you have your eyes closed. And it's up to you, but I just suggest that. Steady our feet, our Father. Let our doubts be quiet and our holy minds be still, and speak to us. We have no words to give to you. We would but listen to your word and make it ours. Lead our practicing, as does a father lead a little child along a way he does not understand. Yet does he follow, sure that he is safe because his father leads the way for him. So do we bring our practicing to you, and if we stumble, you will raise us up. If we forget the way, we count upon your sure remembering. We wander off, but you will not forget to call us back. Quicken our footsteps now, that we may walk more certainly and quickly unto you. Just rest there a moment, that last beautiful sentence. Quicken our footsteps now, that we may walk more certainly and quickly unto you. Just feel a moment or two of silence within. In that silence, you might hear all the birds that sing here. Birds are my way of being still, being silent within. And open your eyes when you're ready. Today, for the meditation, I'd like to talk about this idea of seeing. He talks here about seeing, and I'm wondering I have wondered, what does seeing mean in this case? It doesn't mean seeing, does it, with the body's eyes? It means seeing with the spirit, seeing at that pure place where we are one with God. And at the same time, I'm very aware of what it is that all of us are searching for. Whatever we do, whatever actions we take, whatever we say in our lives, underneath there is always the search to be happy, for happiness. And I'm reminded of the wonderful lesson, God being love is also happiness. So it seems to me that when we experience love, we inevitably experience happiness. You cannot separate them. And I'm feeling with this that the life seems to be a constant journey to seek, to want, to look for the experience of love and therefore happiness. It's not that we want to necessarily know more. I don't think it's about more information, more knowledge. It's not about learning the course. Ultimately, there's this deep drive within us to experience oneness, to see God. Not seeing as in obviously God hasn't got a form, but to see with the inner eye. I call it the eyes of the heart, seeing with the eye of the heart, experiencing. So we are moved along all the time, aren't we, by this seeking and looking for the experience of oneness, the experience of God, and that pure resting place of happiness, of quiet joy. And I also think of how we're told by Jesus that love, joy, and peace are inextricably one. So when we experience one of those things, we experience them all. But what I'm interested in today, perhaps, is this going within, in meditation or just in silence in our lives, to experience God, to experience the love of God. Perhaps love with a capital L and God are the same thing anyway. So experiencing God, being one with God, being one with all life. There's a movement within us, I think, a deep seeking, a desire, a wanting to experience this love. And I'm just going to read something from just a few short bits from the paragraph or the chapter, looking within in the text. You see what you expect, and you expect what you invite. Your perception is the result of your invitation coming to you as you sent for it. For you will believe in what you manifest, and as you look out, so you will see in. Two ways of looking at the world are in your mind, and your perception will reflect the guidance you have chosen. And then Jesus tells us, I am the manifestation of the Holy Spirit, and when you see me, it will be because you have invited him. Remember always that you see what you seek, and what you seek, you will find. When you want only the love of God, you will see nothing else. When you look within and see me, it will be because you decided to manifest truth. So those words are very strong for me, that sense that we have this deep seeking within us to experience love, peace and joy, not to know more about it. Sometimes I think we get distracted into learning more things, into studying more, and the studying and the learning are good, but they need to take us, I believe, to experience, to seeing God, experiencing God, feeling that deep love within us. If it was only a matter of studying and learning, I don't think that would take us to where we want to go. So we have to remember, I think, all the time that where we are going is into this deep experience, this deep, quiet peace. And that's why the meditation, I think, today is so important, because we can see meditation as a time of seeking, a time of opening ourselves to the experience of God. And when we say seeing, seeing when we talk with the body's eyes is one thing, but seeing at that deep level is different, isn't it? It's experiencing, it's knowing, it's choosing. And we're told that that's really the one power we have, this power to choose. So I'm suggesting that we can use meditation to choose the experience of God, the experience of love, the experience of oneness. Meditation as well for me is about a deep silence, but it's not silent, it's silence from the ego, yes, all egoic thought, but it's not necessarily a silence that eliminates any thoughts that we think with God. That is part of the silence for me. So anything that you think with God, those deep thoughts, they are part of silence. In the same way as for me, the sound of the birds is part of the silence. So I'm going to invite you in the meditation today to really feel that you enter into a deep experience of God. Now, you will need to, as we're taught in this that I just read, we need to invite that, to choose that. And I always feel that I'm asking for the eyes of my heart to be opened. Now, in some ways, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? There aren't any eyes in our heart. But symbolically, it's opening ourselves up by asking, by seeking, by choosing the experience. And there's a chorus to a beautiful gospel song that I love that goes, open the eyes of my heart, Lord, I want to see you. And I really love that. And I think I'm probably, when we begin the meditation, I think I'm going to sing that to you, just to sort of take you into that place of really choosing God, choosing love, inviting, seeking. And we are told here, aren't we, that what I just read, what we seek, we will find. So beyond the reading and the learning and the studying, there is the choosing. So let's choose now. Let's have that feeling of choosing the experience of God, to know the love of God, to be one with God. Perhaps you could just feel that within yourselves, that depth of choosing that experience. Yeah, love is not a concept or an idea, or it might be as well, but fundamentally, it's an experience. So I think I'm going to ask you to close your eyes now and just help you to get settled into your meditation. And I'm going to sing those words for you. I'm not a singer, I just sing because it opens my heart. And I feel so much love, and it feels like I'd like to share that with you, whether I sing in tune or not. And I invite you to use those words. If you attempt just to be silent, normally what happens is the ego interferes and starts getting you to think all kinds of stuff that you didn't choose. But if you're choosing the thoughts you think with God for your meditation, you can hold your mind in those thoughts. And as you repeat them, you can get deeper and deeper. Even if we're saying words in the silence, in the depths of your heart, you can feel whether or not you've given them meaning, can't you? So you can say them lightly or just throw away, or you can say them with increasing depth and meaning. So that's what I'm suggesting today. I'll say the words again before I sing them to you. And I suggest that you use those words. You just fit them with your breathing, you flow with the words, and you let them get more sincere, more deep, more rich, more powerful, more true and intense choosing. So if you'd like to close your eyes now, let's just take a moment or two to become really present. It's really helpful if the body is relaxed and that you're aware of it. It just communicates to you. So feel your feet on the ground. Feel yourself rising up a little bit into your spine. And let your hands rest lightly in your lap. And your eyes, if they will open, your gaze would be parallel with the ground. And this isn't so that you look nice. It just helps your body to be peaceful. Be aware of your breathing. Notice it going in and out. The feel of the breath on your nostrils. And it becomes more peaceful and harmonious. And the qualities of your breathing reflect the qualities of your mind and back again. So you could think of evenness and balance, harmony, peacefulness, gentleness, calm, quietude. All of that can be in your breath and in your heart. Notice the sounds of the birds again. It's such a wonderful thing just to be present in that moment. So you let go of past and of future. You're completely here, just noticing what is in this moment now. And the words of what I'm going to sing you and invite you to use for your meditation now. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. I want to see you. And at some point in the meditation, you might just gently slip into silent communion and oneness. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. I'll call you back in 20 minutes with 3 chimes on the Tibetan bell. Just coming, coming back very gently and slowly. Take your time. Maybe just keep your eyes closed a moment or two longer. There's some short piece I'd like to read to you to complete the meditation. Do you know what it means to love? To feel your heart filled with such joy and gratitude that you cannot contain it, and it has to bubble over and out to all those around you. It is a glorious feeling of well-being and of being one with all life. All fear, all hatred, jealousy, envy, and greed disappear when love is there, for there is no place for those negative forces in the presence of love. Love is the key to every closed door. Learn to use it until all doors have been opened. Start right where you are. Open the eyes of your heart and love. Thank you.
We have approximately 9 minutes left for sharing your comments and your questions for Lia. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand, or you can use the reactions button at the bottom of your screen. And if you take yourself off mute, and I'll take you off mute, if you'd like to ask Lia a question or comment with confidentiality, it's in chat, and I'll read it out. Maggie.
I just want to say, Lia, that was the most beautiful, beautiful meditation. I just wanted to stay there. You were just, I never felt so much love, and it was so simple in a way, and that is just the most healing thing. I can't tell you how amazing, you know, how I feel about it. It's just so wonderful. I really thank you so much.
Thank you. That's really moving. It's so lovely to feel that communication between us. Thank you. Thank you.
Rona, would you like to say something?
Yeah, thanks. Hi, I'm Rona. Nice to be here. Thanks. Lovely to see you, Lia, and everyone. Yeah, I come here every week, but I always have my video off because I'm so self-conscious about it being on YouTube. I'm really trying to work with that because I feel really connected to you as a community, but you probably don't feel connected to me because I've got my video off every week. But anyway, so it's a metaphor for coming out of hiding. Yeah, thank you so much, Lia. I always love how you how you channel the course, and yeah, that meditation, I found it really powerful just now. I had a really strong experience of Jesus, and yeah, it was deeply reassuring and very simplifying. I guess it was making me think about that kind of idea in the course of how love is able to overlook, whereas the ego gets so involved in like the detail and holding on, and yeah, thank you. It was really beautiful.
Thank you, Rona. It seems to be what I'm asked to do is to work with experiencing, to take the teachings of the course, which I take very seriously. But I'm always saying, how can I feel this, be this, live this? What does it mean when I speak and move and respond? And so it's constantly with me. So I'm always looking for ways that we can experience what we've been taught about rather than learn. Well, I mean, you could learn it first, but that's about engaging the mind. You know, if your mind doesn't think, yeah, this makes sense, it's not going to cooperate. But if you can, you know, with the teachings of the course, it's like, yes, I get that, that makes sense, good. Right, now I can get on with it. Now I can really work with feeling filled with love and oneness. So thank you, you've highlighted that.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rona. Lovely to see you.
I have a comment in chat. It said, where in the course are the 2 readings from?
The first one is review 5 in the workbook. And the readings that I did, they were bits I picked out because it would have taken too much time to read it all. From the well, like subheading, it's not a whole chapter. It's from Going Within anyway. Let me just open it up. I can tell you the page. So in the hardback book, it's on page 230, 231 and 232. So there's my selected bits I put together from there.
Thank you. Who'd like to have a comment or a question? Yes, Vivian. Just take yourself off of mute.
Yes, I just want to ask, for many years I've done transcendental meditation and got a mantra. And I'm never quite sure when we do these meditations whether I find it easy working with the words you've given or going back to the mantra which I've used for many years to experience stillness. Can you advise me on that, please? Because I sometimes do feel conflict about this. Gosh, do I say these words or do I go back to how I would normally meditate?
Yes, yes, I understand that. I think in your position, I would just say, well, today I'm doing this. And you're not in any way abandoning your regular practice. You're just doing something else today. And it feels to me that that would be perfectly livable with. And it's just so lovely to see if some other approach might be valuable. You never know. And my whole approach with meditation is using the thoughts we think with God. So that we're actually making sure we leave behind anything ego and we're totally surrendering to that experience of God. And it just does seem to me that maybe if you do it, you will have a good experience. And then when you're ready, you return to your normal meditation. I don't feel you need to have a conflict. I hope you wouldn't anyway.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you. Nicola, take yourself off of mute.
Hi, Lia. I was just resonating with what you were saying about leaving the ego voices away, but and then having a space for the thoughts of God and the birds, etc. And it just resonated with an experience I had yesterday when I was volunteering at a community near here in Devon, and I was looking at a pond that they dug, and I was thinking, and there was a little damsel fly there. I think further on in the summer there'd be a lot of dragonflies there, and I was just thinking, you know, how they dug out this pond, which was hard physical work, and it was just a space, but it was an invitation. Then the water went in, and then there was an invitation for, you know, who knows what to come in, and then obviously, you know, the beauty, the damselflies and the dragonflies come in, and it's a place of beauty, the thoughts of God. And so I just thought that was a similar experience, really.
Yes, yes, how lovely. Yes, I find that paying attention at the beginning of meditation to my senses is very powerful, because your senses can only record what's happening now. They can't do anything about what was or what will be. So it's really just brings us completely into the present moments of the sound of the birds. Sometimes I'll do it with any taste on your lips or any aroma in your nostrils, how your body's feeling, if there's any discomfort and so on. And, you know, seeing with the inner eyes of the heart. It's a marvelous practice for making sure you're really here now. And yeah, and then you can bring in the thoughts you think with God. And I love that way you said, you talked of it as an invitation, because that's what I was reading earlier, wasn't it? We're seeking, we're inviting, we're making a space so that we can be at one with God. Thank you.
Teresa, would you like to say something?
Yeah, thank you, Leah. I just wanted to say, listening to Nicola there about the pond, it reminded me that I was listening to the birds and I got a sense it was like heaven, and everybody that I loved that has passed now was singing to me through the birds, you know, singing their joy and their love. And then I was looking at your flowers behind. I know we were supposed to have our eyes closed, but I was looking at them, you know, waving in the wind, and I thought, oh, God is in the flowers. And it was lovely. So thank you.
Oh, good. Yes, and that reminded me of the early lesson. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. And one of the things I'm very interested in working within the course is the idea of the happy dream. That obviously we can't just choose not to be in this dream. We're here and we're making our way, it seems, from fear to love. And as we choose the thoughts we think with God, as we let go of the ego, so we project out from ourselves into the world we're experiencing, although it's not real. And it's inevitable that as our thoughts align with thoughts we think with God, so what we see out there becomes more and more beautiful. And at the same time, we become more capable, I think, of forgiving and letting go of anything we see that appears not to be beautiful, and that we simply become the presence of love. We ask for guidance how to deal with it. But fundamentally, our world changes. And for me, it's the garden. Just the incredible beauty and the sounds and the creatures, and it just, for me, is my happy dream. And yeah, I remember that there's a poem, isn't there? Somebody says in a poem, you're nearer God's heart in a garden than anywhere else on earth. We may not get totally those exact words, might resonate with the course, but there's something there, isn't there? There's something in nature that whatever sounds it makes, it's still silent, and it's deep and profound and intense and glorious. Thank you.
Okay, Jan.
Hi, just a quickie to say hello to everyone and a big hello to you, Leah. And just thinking on that, I mean, it's obvious to everyone, I guess, it's so much easier to be aware of God, isn't it, in nature and beauty, and so we can slip into it. It's sort of, there doesn't seem any gaps really, but of course, I guess our challenge is seeing God in everything else that looks far less beautiful and quite ugly, and anyway, work in progress.
Yes.
So much easier when you're in a gorgeous place as you are. It's lovely. Yes. And as we all are in this summer, hopefully.
Yes. Yes. I was just thinking of the Hare Krishna people, Krishna consciousness, I think their path is called, which I was involved in many years ago. And they have something they say to everybody they meet, just in their minds. They say, thank you, God, for appearing to me in this form. And that keeps them constantly focused on this teaching. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. So God is in every being that I see, everything that I see. And that feeling of gratitude to God for being in everything. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Leah. That was wonderful. Got so much out of it. And take yourself off of mute and express your appreciation to Leah.
Thank you so much, Leah.
Thank you, Leah. Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to see everyone.
Here.
Have a
Really grateful.
Hear me.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Lots of love.